Good morning, traders. It is Friday, April the 6th. Taking a look at the charts. On the right-hand side, we got the daily chart of the SP 500 futures, and the left side is our 30-minute trend analysis chart of the SP 500 futures. And more or less where we are at this morning is yesterday, very strong rally up. Got into this overhead resistance. Market got a little bit overdone, a little overbought, and we're seeing a little bit of a pullback. Trump came out last night with 100 billion, I think, in extra tariffs for China, something like that, and it created a big sell-off. We were down about 1.5% in overnight trading. It's recovered half of that. So news-based move. News-based moves typically are short-lived. They usually half or all of the move is given back usually the following session or within the same session. So we'll see how things digest, but you can see here we are at resistance and we were a little bit overbought yesterday, or pretty much overbought, along with you can see over here we are overbought with the volume flow with everyone buying. We also had a little short-term cycle on the intraday chart, and of course everything is pointing to slightly lower prices today, which is already taking place. And when this market opens, this is regular trading hours. This is a 24-hour chart. So use our cycle analysis a lot on the regular trading hours, and we get an idea for the next day's kind of direction of the market. So that's where we are in the grand scheme of things. A little bit of a pause, pullback. We closed out half of our position that we hold in the TNA. Which is the Russell 2000, had a nice move up, and because everything was showing overbought moves, we were like, I don't know, 9 cents away from our first target. I thought, hey, that's close enough. Everything's screaming. There's a pullback, short-term pullback coming. Let's just pull our money off the table for half of the position, move our stops to break even, which is way down here, and we will more or less see if the market can find some legs behind it. You can see here on the 30-minute chart, we are forming this potential base. This blue line through here is the 5-day moving average. So we are sandwiched between the 20-day and the 5-day. Price is set to gap down right here around this 5-day moving average. If it can get stability over the next couple of days, we could see a very strong rally out of here and continue to see our TNA move up to be 20, 25, 30% gain over the next couple of weeks. So let's just take a jump over to the other markets. Here is here's the chart of bonds. Bonds have been pulling back. We talked about this a couple of days ago, actually when they were up near the highs, how if the stock market puts in a significant pivot low, we're going to see money flow out of safe havens like bonds, precious metals, and they're going to fall back out of favor, and we're going to see money pile into the equities, and that's what's been happening here. If we look at gold, gold's been holding up pretty nice, but again, it's holding up in value. It's not selling off, but I mean, it's consolidating. It's been moving down. We had a little bit of a pop this morning. Obviously, some news came out at 8:30 on the intraday chart. You can see there's definitely news-related little spike here in gold, but more or less gold and silver. This is the silver chart, along with gold. Miners continue to flatline and just be out of favor. The big long-term picture here for miners. This is a huge pattern. If we just look here, huge multi-year basing formation. This is what we want to see is initial big run. That shows that there's upside momentum. And really we're just seeing it fade and fall out of favor and flatline. And from these flat lines is when we can get some of these huge moves and new bull markets take place. You just need everyone to not really care about the sector anymore, for it to fall out of favor. Everybody gives up on it. They start focusing elsewhere, and that's when these secret big bull markets start. So it's just in this, it's in the second half of its basing formation. Hopefully near the end. Love to see this take off and rally through late 2018, 19, 20. Who knows how far or how long it'll go, but it is building a mega base. Let's take a look at the US dollar index. US dollar index is still forming these bearish formations. When you zoom way out to this picture here, we've got this major kind of looks like a topping phase, came down, kind of broke down, traded through it, and continued to go lower. This, you could argue here, is one initial run. This could be here, and then it's starting to break down, and this is a smaller one that if you were to take both of these, this measured move down, and you measure it down to the downside here, that's probably pretty close to this drop and this consolidation. So there's potential here for a huge drop in the US dollar, somewhere way down into this range. And this is a bearish formation, a continuation pattern. So is this. And if the dollar breaks and starts to slide, we are going to see commodities really take off, which is what we're anticipating and slowly getting ready for some other positions in commodities when they start to firm up here. Looking over at energies, natural gas up 1% this morning. Let's zoom way in here. Overall, we played this bounce. We were hoping for a really strong rally in here. We ended up just catching this small bounce. It was about a 9.1% move, and then we got out of it and had another bounce up. It's looking a little dormant, still bullish somewhat here, but again, not too excited about it. You could argue this is a little bull flag, but if it does pop, really the next target is this high over here, the simple measured move. And let me grab a measured move and show you. Here's a Fibonacci extension. Should be somewhere near those highs. So we got this low, this high. You go down to this low and just bring it forward. So it does have potential here for, here's the first run, here's the pullback. Here's the first level of resistance, the 618, and then if it can break that, then it should head all the way up to the 100% measured move, which would be up here. So it's a pretty small little pattern, and in the grand scheme of things, I don't think we're going to get into natural gas at the moment unless things start to look more bearish for stock markets. We might move into these, but kind of going to leave it be for now. Looking at crude oil, down 0.5% yesterday, or sorry, today. Again, a series of bear flags. If we look at the price, we've got a drop, we've got a bear flag, we've got a drop, we've got a bear flag. Starting to sell down again today, and could very easily come down to our 62 or 61.50 target, which is right through all these consolidations and these little hiccups here and here and here. This is a critical pivot zone, this 61.75 area, and that would be a simple measured move to the downside. From there, you could argue here it would be at more or less a support trend line as well, probably oversold at support, and there could be some type of bounce, and it could continue within this rising wedge, which is in a major early stage bull market. And if it breaks to the upside and the dollar crashes, we could see crude oil into the mid 70s, potentially even 80s, and catch a lot of people off guard with the size of the move that crude oil could have. Big long-term picture here. We zoom way out. You can see this major bottoming formation. We're more or less broken out of the basing formation, and it's just consolidating here. And a falling dollar could really send this up into the mid 70s, 80 area pretty quick. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Here is Bitcoin. It's had a series of these bull flags and these rallies, dwarfs all the other ones that were back here. All these ones back here are the same as these. We're down into these lower stages. Let me just show you. We're down into this type of formation, something like this, or this, or this, or this, and this or this. This is kind of where we're at in the grand scheme of things. It's falling out of favor. We have cycles bottoming out in a week or three. Looks like it's about 2.5 weeks away. I showed the cycle yesterday or the day before, but we could be getting into a position for potential another big rocket higher in the cryptocurrencies going forward. But at this point, still out of favor. Probably going to flatline and start to base a little bit here. Let's just see here. Transportation index. I would think this would have a big move this morning. It doesn't show pre-market trading on IYT, but if there's major changes in tariffs overseas, transportation index should take a pretty big hit. Obviously, we could see a lot less things being sold and shipped if things are going to cost more. Transportation index could get hit hard, but I'm not sure. I can't see pre-market trading on IYT this morning for some reason. Anyways, that's it for this morning. Talk to you in a little bit. Bye-bye.